Hello. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the syllabus for SPECED 458 for the fall semester, and I will go through each part of the syllabus one step at a time, but if you have questions after reviewing this video and the syllabus itself, then please let me know. Okay, first of all, this is an online class. My office hours will also be virtual, and they're listed at the top of the page. Please note that I will be teaching 4th through 9th grade students at a rural school every Monday through Thursday from 7:30 to 2 p.m. And therefore, I will never be able to meet during those days or times because I will be with my own students. Outside of those times, there might be some flexibility, but it's important that you use Outlook to schedule any virtual office hours with me. As we move throughout the semester, a couple parts of the syllabus might evolve to reflect the unique needs of our group. Whenever those adjustments are made, I update the syllabus and highlight changes in yellow, and then I will also announce it on our Canvas site. There are 2 required texts for this class. The first one is a rental, and it's Friend 2014. That will help you learn more about co-teaching, which is one of the core elements of this course. The second one you'll be purchasing, and it's your UDL lesson planner, which is a step-by-step guide for implementing universal design for learning in the classroom. In addition to those 2 texts that you need to have on hand right away, there is an additional text that will help us learn more about professional collaboration, but that one is provided to you on Canvas. This course is divided into 3 units. Unit 1 is all about foundations for professional collaboration, and there are a few different objectives that we are going to accomplish through that unit. Unit 2 is foundations for inclusive instruction, and again, there are some new objectives that we'll accomplish during that unit. And then finally, Unit 3 is all about application, reflection, and revision. And during Unit 3, you will be out in the field implementing all of the foundational understanding you developed through the first 2 units. And that's why 458 is paired with Spec Field 410, which is a middle school practicum placement that I will be making for you. And there will be a separate Canvas course and syllabus provided to you for that course as well. But a lot of the objectives in this course are going to align with what you're doing in the field through 410. Okay, high leverage practices are evidence-based strategies that all special education teachers should know how to do because they are effective in supporting the academic, behavioral, and social emotional outcomes for learners with disabilities. If you are not a special education major, you should see some value in learning these strategies as well because you've chosen to be in the general education setting where you will also be supporting learners with disabilities. So there are a few different HLPs that we'll be learning more about through this course, and you'll be completing some readings that relate to those. This next section of the syllabus are our community commitments, which is another way of saying the rules of the course. Some of these you'll be helping me develop through your first reflection, but there are a couple that I'd like to point your attention to because they are decided by me, the instructor. First of all, if you need an extension for any assignment, then as long as you request that extension at least 24 hours before the deadline, I will give you the extension. No questions asked for any reason. However, if you do not communicate within 24 hours of the deadline, at least 24 hours before the deadline, we're going to consider that a self-error, and it'll be 10% off per day that it is late. After 10 school days, the assignment will become a 0. Now, with that said, you can redo one assignment of your choosing at any point in the semester, except for the culminating activity, which is the final project that you're doing for this course. If you redo the assignment and meet all assignment requirements, you can earn back full points. The only exception to this is if you use AI to complete any part of any assignment, there will be a 0%, and there will not be an opportunity to redo it. And I'll provide more information about that for you a little bit later in this video. Okay, these next few things are in relation to the language that you use in the course and your timeliness for submitting your assignments. So first of all, in this course, I expect people to use either person first language or identity first language. So what that means is if you're referring to somebody with a disability, rather than calling them behavior kids or referring to them as IEPs, such as saying there are 3 IEPs in my classroom, I expect you to use either person first language, which is where you would say people with disabilities or a student with a learning disability. Or, where appropriate, you can use what is called identity first language. This is in cases where people have collectively agreed that they prefer to be called or identified by their perceived disability. So, for example, people who are deaf often prefer to refer to themselves as deaf person. And some individuals with autism also prefer to be called autistic persons or people. Okay, artificial intelligence. So this course is designed to help teacher candidates deepen their understanding of co-teaching, collaboration, and lesson planning before you're expected to apply it in an authentic setting. So in order to develop and practice the very complex skills necessary for being high-quality teachers, it's crucial that you actively engage in the readings, materials, and activities that are part of this course. What that means then is that artificial intelligence, or AI, will not be allowed for any assignments in any part of this course or 410, because I want you to use your own brains to engage with the materials, reflect, and demonstrate your understanding. This will help you prepare to be a very good teacher. AI does not help you with that. So if you use AI on an assignment, you will earn a 0% without the opportunity to redo it. If it happens more than once, it's going to be considered plagiarism and a violation of Chapter 14, which could result in failure of the course. Down here we have the assignments for the course. So during week 1, you'll have a reflection that's only 5 points. And then moving forward after that, you'll notice that it's a pretty routine setup for the rest of it. So Tuesdays, you'll complete an open notes quiz after reading the materials for that module. And then on Thursdays, you'll either have a collaboration checkpoint, an application activity, or in a few cases, a discussion board. Each of those are described here, and assignments will have the thorough description as well as a rubric to go with it so that you can understand what's expected of you and how you're being asked to demonstrate your understanding of the content for that week. The culminating activity is at the very end of the semester, and details about that assignment are also provided on Canvas. In this chart, I show you the assignment due dates and point values and which unit the objectives relate to. And then finally down here, we have the grading scale. One thing I'd like you to note is that if you are majoring in special education, you have to earn a C+ to pass this course and move forward. If you're minoring in adaptive ed, you must earn a C to pass the course. If you earn below a C+ or a C depending on your major, you will be required to retake the course in a subsequent semester. The next part of the syllabus shows you the schedule. So your weekly schedule is as follows. On Mondays, you'll complete the readings and view all assigned materials. On Tuesdays, you'll have an open notes quiz due at midnight. On Wednesdays, you'll watch a recorded lecture, and you'll notice that the modules for the following week open up. And then on Thursdays, it's all about application. So you'll either do a discussion board on Canvas, you'll do a collaboration checkpoint, which is where you're going to record yourself practicing collaboration skills with a peer in this course, or eventually you'll get into the application activities where you're either designing lesson plans or actively teaching in the classroom. And down here, the course is broken into units with the corresponding objectives, and each module is shown with the date, the topic that we're focusing on, the readings and tasks, and then any assignments that are due. There are 2 optional WebEx meetings that you should have received an invitation to, and then everything's color-coded as well so that you can see when you have quizzes due, when you have collaboration checkpoints, and when you eventually have application activities. And then finally, the last couple pages of the syllabus are university course policies relating to non-discrimination, mandatory reporting, how to receive accommodations, academic misconduct, academic integrity, which relates to the use of AI, and then some very important resources for you for mental health support and Title IX. So it is your responsibility as a student to make sure that you're reading through all parts of the syllabus. I hope this video helps you understand where to find important information, and I am here to help you work through any challenges that arise throughout the semester, and I'm looking forward to getting to know you as soon as possible.